Blessed morning, collective. Excuse me, my voice is a little jacked up. Nothing is coincidence. There's a lot that's been held back that wants to come out. A lot of expression. That is for a fact. The energy is changing. It's changing swiftly. Today I'm going to pull on Venus going direct in Leo, but before that, I have a desire to express, because that's all this is. That's all this ever fucking is myself, the self, expressing for the simple sake of it. It's just consciousness talking to consciousness. There is nothing serious going on here. It's all just made up home videos. The energy is funky. It's funky, it's cheesy, it's kind of curdled, or curdling is the way that it's been felt by myself. There's a sourness to it, an acidity, something acrid. It is adding lemon juice to milk. It's an intentional curdling by the universe. We may not have necessarily claimed that this was intentional, this was our doing. It was, it is, it all always is. This is the divine plan which we constructed for ourselves, as ourselves. It's all intentional, it's all on purpose, it is all for the highest good, which is everybody's highest good, no matter what. There is no bad. Nothing bad can ever possibly be. That is made up. That is an illusion of the mind, along with all the other illusions of separation and suffering and such not. Nothing is bad, nothing is wrong. Everything is right and good and exceedingly well. When viewed from the highest perspective, this is known. It's patently obvious. It's unquestionable. It is unable to be challenged. It's just what it is. It's all good. But ego, of course, as it does, is resisting. That's okay too. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a part of the plan also. It is a part of the plan for ego to be as ego is, for it to throw up the walls, the barriers, the resistance, for it to scream bloody murder, for it to cry wolf. That's all it ever does. The mind, and the mind-made self, ego, cries wolf over and over and over. And eventually, consciousness just gets bored of it, just gets tired, sees through the illusion, sees, oh, this never leads anywhere. This only ever generates drama, generates suffering, this sense of tension, this illusion of separation, this illusion of wrong. None of that's actually real. There's no wolf. Every single time ego cries wolf, there's no wolf, there's no threat, there is no risk, no harm, and no danger in anything that exists. And I know this so truly, that even if the wolf came this time and devoured everybody, it ate the boy, it ate the sheep, it ate everybody in the village, and it ate me, still wouldn't matter. Still wouldn't be a big deal, still wouldn't be bad. It would all be for the highest good, first of all. It would be good. I would have peace with that, and nothing really would have happened. There would be no threat, no harm to me, even in my devouring. It wouldn't change my continued existence, my eternal life. It wouldn't change my knowing of joy and peace and well-being. It wouldn't change really much of anything about my knowing, my experience, my awareness. So let the wolf come, let it devour all. It's only consuming illusion. That's it. It's only eating ideas. It's only eating the image, the thought of, the concept of. It can't touch the real thing. So let it all be eaten. It's just destroying the mirage. It is just eating the illusion. Let it be. I'm gonna pull some cards. Ego has been in a tizzy fit, big surprise. It usually is. It's kind of how it goes. But Venus is moving into Leo, and it's bringing in some of this bold, confident energy, this fuck it, I'm going in kind of energy, which is, again, how this whole process is designed to work brilliantly at the highest level. Ego gets tired of its own shit. It's been getting tired of it. It's been seeing more and more of how it's twisting itself into a loop. It's creating all of the drama. All of the illusion of suffering and pain is its own doing. And it's kind of tired of it. It's pretty done with it. I did not shuffle the cards the way that I normally would when I put them away last time. So it goes. It was what is. Didn't feel right at that moment. So I'm going to look at this and then I'm going to give it another shuffle, because we do have the Magician on top with the Queen of Pentacles underneath, 8 of Cups, 6 of Cups, and the 2 of Swords, bookending that Magician with the 7 of Wands underneath. It's a change. It is a transformation of a blockage, something that we didn't want to go towards. Now we can't deny how good it feels. There is this inexplicable pull that we're feeling that's making us want to stand up and fight for this, give to it, do something about it. I don't know what that is. Yeah, I'm pulling on the soulmate cycle, but really it's just, all of this is about balancing energy. That's all any of this is. Balanced energy feels good. Balanced energy is natural energy. It is restored to natural order. To us, it's experienced as what we would call positive emotion. On the upper side of the spectrum, I've already got cards flipping out, and I'm just doing a pre-shuffle. Yeah, there's something breaking loose here. Liberation and the Hanged Man. It is a liberated perspective, which really is all it ever takes. True liberation is the understanding that nothing is binding you. That there is no prison. There is nothing holding anything back. There's nothing keeping you from experiencing the joy, the peace, the good feeling that you desire and deserve to experience right now. There's nothing stopping that. Nothing even needs to change. It all hinges on your perspective, your acceptance of what is, your ability to feel yourself into the place of realizing nothing is bad and nothing is wrong. It all simply is. Nothing is good. Nothing is right from this mental perspective, which has polar opposites. Nothing is any of those things that the mind calls them. It just is. It is just what is, and it is exactly as it should be. At the higher level, it's perceived as correct. But it's perceived as correct because there is really nothing attached to it. It just is, and it's right to be. Realization of this is liberation from suffering, from the material world. No, the world no longer binds you. That which is material becomes immaterial. It becomes irrelevant. It ceases to matter because you're seeing through the illusion. You're seeing that everything that you thought mattered not only doesn't matter, it isn't matter. You see, all of this stuff that seems so solid and real, it's not. It's not. It is made up. It is an illusion. It is the universe very cleverly feeding back to you what you expect to perceive. And the more that you perceive the material as immaterial, the less that you feel matter matters, the less it does at every level. It ceases to affect you in any way. It ceases to, well, hold on to you at all because you're no longer holding on to it. And in the same blow, it becomes less dense, literally. As consciousness evolves, as more and more of the collective consciousness comes to perceive that that which is material is actually not material, it doesn't matter and it's not real, as we perceive this, the universe will reflect this back to us in greater and greater degree. And so this, sorry buddy, this material stuff, there's a cat up here, will become less dense. The structures that sort of bind it together in appearance will become less rigid and more free to change freely, to adapt freely. This opens up the capacity for what has been called transmogrification or shape-shifting. That's a thing. Liberated perspective, that's happening though. Yeah. What's underneath that liberation? It's a jailbreak, my friend. The tower. I mean, this is dramatic. The walls are coming down. They come down all at once and all together. It needs to be a total collapse. That is how this works. We're tired of fighting against the flow. It's time for something new, for a new path. This is leading us, yeah. There's a lot. There is so much attached to this Hierophant. It's everything. This is everything. This is the whole new path. This is seeing that we always had the key. The key was just to fucking go for it. The key was to realize there was nothing stopping us. There is no wall. There is no separation. There is nothing keeping us from having this liberation that we desire. Liberation from suffering. Liberation from ego, which creates suffering. Liberation from the physical manifestations of those things, which have been long-term and a big part of our life. Come on. It's the world underneath. I can't even hold on to the cards. It's time for a big change. And it's happened. It's already happened. It is in the process of happening. Everybody is on a slightly different point in the time cycle of experiencing this. It's all unfolding exactly the way and with the timing that it is intended to. But at the highest level, it's all already happened. It's done. It's a done deal. That milk has turned into cottage cheese. It doesn't go back to being milk after that. You can't uncurdle. You can scoop stuff off, but still, the texture of it has changed. It's just different. We're in a different texture of energy now. And it doesn't go back to the way it was. It is not possible. What else we got? The Chariot. Oh my God, yeah. I mean, just driving this home. The Chariot, Queen of Cups, Five of Cups, Death, and Temperance. It's become real. The idea of curdled milk has turned into actual curdled milk. I know that's a weird way of putting it. I don't care. That which was just sort of a dream or a possibility, a potentiality, has become real. It has made itself manifest. The energy has changed, and it's changing everything with it. It's sweeping everything along with it. That's just what it is. If you got milk, the universe is pouring in some lemon juice. What's on top? Eight of Wands. This is not going away. This energy. This is forward movement, passionate, steadfast. Gets there. There's Knight of Pentacles energy around that. If that makes sense. It's it just happens. It just does. I got nothing else to say. All right, that's the pre-shuffle. So let's get into the why. I mean, why? Because it's time. But why? Why today? We're talking today. Can't stop dropping cards. We're talking to the universe today about Venus going direct in Leo. Can't stop dropping the cards. High Priestess. Wow, the High Priestess and the Magician. I mean, there's divine counterpart energy in all of this. Technically, it is the Hierophant, the High Priest, and the High Priestess. Resolving karma, coming to balance, masculine and feminine energy are balancing. I don't know what that means as far as how it plays out in the 3D. It plays out a billion different ways. People still have free will, but it's coming to balance. It is transforming. It just is. It's already happened. It's already taken place. Before the next season happens, nature is already prepared for it. It's already happened, essentially. That cycle, it's already prepped. It's in the system. It's going to be what it is. Nature already knows exactly what kind of winter is going to be. It's a done deal. I don't know how else to describe this. Let's cut the cards. And it's okay, there's more to that energy. I want to be detailed here. It is the feeling like we can do this. Suddenly, it's time for a dramatic change. Suddenly, it feels right. Suddenly, it feels like we can feel and allow the flow of this emotion and allow it to guide us. Suddenly, it makes, maybe it doesn't make sense, but we feel like we can follow this intuition, this calling. There's a higher calling. Everyone is being called in a powerful way. Again, that plays out a million different ways. I am pulling on the soulmate cycle, but I'm pulling on it as a sample for general collective and the ascension of consciousness. I don't care so much about specific people coming together. It's not about that. It's about energy balancing. The universe balances energy. That energy is coming to balance. This karma, this imbalance is being resolved. And it's a dramatic imbalance between masculine and feminine. And I can't make this shit up. It's the Emperor, crossed by 8 broken cups. Taking control, making the choice. No more fence sitting. Seeing the truth of this, that these cups are broken. It's not serving us to sit around in this energy. It's just not. They're not bad cups. They're not wrong. Nothing went wrong here, and this is not a problem. It's just what is. By allowing what is to be what is, we gain the information, the clarity, and are able to receive the impulse of higher guidance that leads us towards the next best thing. This was the best thing. Now we're done with it. It's time to move on to the next iteration, the next version, the update, the next best. It's all the best. But when we cling to one version of best, we don't let the more better come in, which is always what it wants to do. We're continuously updating, expanding, growing, evolving. It just gets better and better and better. That is how it works. Every moment, everything is better than the last, no matter what. So when we cling to the old version of a thing, we're not allowing nature to take its course. We're not allowing the energy to move. We're not allowing ourselves to grow and expand. We're staying stuck. We're putting things out of balance. It doesn't feel good. All it takes to feel good is to let go of that and let the next better come in. We're keeping that stuff out by holding on to it, holding on to the previous, holding on to the past. It's time to walk away. All right. Now we're pulling a proper reading. So, Venus moving into Leo, direct in Leo, it's been in Leo. No longer retrograde. What is the effects of this energy? It's an influx of feeling like I can do it. Like I can take control. I can make a change. I can just walk away. You're never stuck. You are never trapped. There is always a way. Primarily that way is acceptance of what is. I have cards falling out again still. It's a void. It is crickets chirping, as Steve likes to say. It's time to pick a path. Something is being removed here. Yeah, big time. Something is being removed. Internally and externally. I can't make this shit up. Something is being removed. Something that was a long standing pattern, a long-term block, something restrictive, is being released so that we take this new path. That path is closed. This path is open. There's nowhere else to go. We're being course corrected. Yeah. Shown. You've been choosing that, and you're not able to choose that anymore. You're just not. You've been drinking this milk. It's no longer milk. You can't drink it anymore. Now it's chunky lemon milk. Now it's cottage cheese. That's it. That's just what it is. 4 cups. Yeah, I knew that was gonna come back somewhere. Bookending the 4 of Swords here. Something coming back around. Yeah. Something that we cannot look away from, and it's time to take action on. The choice, again, is being made. It's been made. This energy balances. It's time to stop doing what you're doing. Whatever you've been doing, it's not going to work anymore. Whatever you've been doing, it's not going to work anymore. There's a little bit of rushing in energy with this. It's just, there's no way out. There is no way out. And of course that creates this explosive rush in because we've been holding back for so long, because there's been nothing for so long, because we've been sitting at this crossroads for centuries. I'm not making that up. We've been sitting at this crossroads for a long time. One path is closed. It's just no more. It's gone. If we even trick ourselves into thinking we can take that path, it's immediately revealed that's just not going to work. That is not how this works. Yeah, it's time to move on. This isn't a 3D. This is walking away and coming towards. We're moving towards the next thing because it's time for this, because the old thing is being ripped away. Where we used to be able to hold on to and cling and put that energy further out of balance by a refusal to accept the change of all things, a refusal to accept that form is inherently unstable, it's temporal, and it's here to evolve. It's here to change. That's what form does. It is not one thing. It is a continuous flow of things. We used to be able to cling to the one thing, to the one version of it, and say, no, but I like this one, or I don't want that one, so just, yeah. It's not working. It is not working anymore. It is not allowed. It will not be allowed. The second we start to cling to one thing, it's going to change. The second you get attached to that milk, it's going to curdle. It's going to shift into something else because you have to accept it. And it's not a bad change. There is no bad. No change is bad. No change is wrong. No thing is wrong. It just is what is. This is here to help us accept what is, to stop holding on to energy. Stop withholding. Let it flow. It's time for karma to resolve. That means we got to stop holding on to anything. No more attachment, no more resistance. What comes, I let come. What goes, I let go. I move with it. If I am led this direction, then I go. What's in the soul? Strength. That is passionate Leo energy. The soul. Oof. Yeah, that's a hot lion. And I am drawn to the infinity sign. This karma is being resolved. There is an explosive aspect to this. I mean, it's bookending that Five of Swords. It's just a bursting through. It's, if you've ever seen a big cat go from rest to taking off after something, it's fast. It's a quick change. It's determined. It is a burst of energy and motion. It's a little bit of bull in a china shop as well. There is a little bit of that, perhaps we didn't really think this through. And what I mean by that, because thinking is not as important as we all believe it to be. What I mean by that is we had a specific expectation with this, and we're just charging forward expecting this outcome, which is a little different from dropping all expectation and just going for it anyway. Can you feel the nuance between that? It is subtle, but it's important. It's the difference between charging towards something and saying, this is going to be it, this is going to be my 9 cups, and I know it, versus I just got to follow this feeling, and the following of this feeling is my 9 cups. It doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter where I end up. I have the satisfaction of following my soul, following my good feeling impulse, following the desire. It's not about the outcome. The outcome is not the 9 cups. My following of this is 9 cups. What's the hidden energy here? The Emperor. Yeah, that is pretty much exactly that. It's red with this Five of Swords. It is a short-sighted, masculine energy, just saying, fuck it, I'm going in. But there's a little bit of... There's a bigger lesson in this for masculine energy. Again, they've sat at this crossroads for so long. There's been nothing for so long. It is time for this explosive forward motion. That's important. That is an important part of this. To realize there's no getting out of it. I've been shooting myself in the foot, sitting here doing nothing. If anything is to change, I have to make that choice, and I have to make that choice now, and I have to go with it. I have to follow that feeling. There is a little bit of that still seeking a specific outcome with this, but that's a part of the lesson too, of understanding, no, you don't have control over that. What you have control over is your own flow with the energy. It's all about you following the soul impulse, the soul guidance, to just move forward, move towards, to let energy flow. It's not about a specific outcome. That's not within your power. What will happen, happens. And it'll happen for the highest good. It will be for the highest good. It will be the best. It will be the best version. Accept that. Make peace with that. And then follow the flow. Let it happen. Final outcome is judgment. I mean, that's unavoidable. This is divine energy. This is source. This is the universe. We've already had the world card here. And it's red with the 8 broken cups. Yeah, it's a lot of wanting a second chance. That's something. All of this has been to help us break loose. Primarily. To help us break loose, to help us let go. Stop holding on, holding back. And just let the energy flow, because then it corrects itself. You're not doing anything. You're not correcting the energy. When you stop withholding it, it naturally flows where it wants to go, where it intends to go, for the highest good, for the highest joy, because that's where it wants. Literally, it desires to flow there. It's a little bit of somebody showing up at the door and going, hey, I'm here. I did it, let's do this thing. You know, your pants are just gonna fall off now, right? That's how this works. I showed up. I brought one single rose. Kind of that sweaty lion energy. If someone's expecting a specific outcome, that's not how this works. It's not. It is about breaking this energy loose. Absolutely. And then there's a deeper level of lesson here that's showing, number one, why we don't withhold energy, why we follow the impulse when we receive it. Because you take long enough and the universe says, this is no more a thing that I can balance in this way. Your flowing in only balances this component. I got a different component I'm bringing in to help this shift now. And also, you don't have control. The masculine energy, the mind energy, ego energy, must learn to surrender completely. Completely. That means not just surrendering to the emotion, not just surrendering to following the emotion, but surrendering the result of that too. Surrendering the outcome. Just because somebody shows up and confesses feelings doesn't mean they get to be with you. And that's not bad or wrong. It's all about just following the flow, letting that energy correct itself, because then when we're not withholding, we're not blocking out the thing that wants to come in. The best version. It's all always the best, but it's continuously being updated. Okay. I'm gonna clarify. Let's clarify with the Rider-Waite, which I also did not shuffle. But we got a 3 of Wands at the bottom and a 2 of Cups underneath that. 7 of Cups, Hanged Man, King of Cups. Yeah, it's looking for ways to do this. How do I get out of this? How do I do this? Can I do this without saying too much, without sharing too much? I don't believe so. No, because the world is underneath all of that. These ships are coming in. Whether or not we get on that ship or are able to get on that ship is a different story. There's that 4 of Swords underneath. A whole lot of wanting to give where we didn't give before, or where we didn't do anything before. It's just about balancing energy. The energy comes to balance one way or another. And it requires full vulnerability. If masculine energy comes in and is willing to give totally and to surrender the outcome, to take the highest perspective of this and understand that whatever happens, happens for the highest good and is the most high good, it is the best. So why hold anything back? Why question anything? Why be afraid of anything? There is nothing to be afraid of. There's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's just let this flow. If that is able to happen, the energy balances. It doesn't matter if a specific individual is the one to express this vulnerability. There will be an expression. If a specific individual is unable to reach the level of release of resistance that is required for this energy to balance, that's okay. It'll find another outlet. It will find another outlet. It's all for the highest good. If 2 specific components are not able to come together, that's for the best. They will be balanced in other ways. But there's just no more sitting around in this energy. Just doesn't work. Doesn't work. more and more what we give, we will see plainly is what we receive. If your giving is of a high quality, which just means free and full and accepting and present, if your giving is done from the perspective of all is always as all should be, there's nothing to fear, there's nothing to hold back. If your giving is without attachment or resistance, then that is what you receive. When you are open to the universe, open to the flow of all things, what comes, comes, what goes, goes, then the universe is open to you and flowing all things to you easily. It's always trying to, but when we're resistant to that flow, when we are pushing back against the universe and not letting things change, that's how we're received. Just came back. Saw a Nine of Cups there. The Hanged Man. Yeah. There is a shift of perspective happening on this. I hesitate to say there's an understanding, but there is a shift of perspective on this behavior. Seeing how we have sabotaged ourselves with the analysis paralysis, with the questioning, with the trying to figure out the right course of action. There is no right and there is no wrong. There is no should and there is no shouldn't. What is the best feeling thing? Follow that thing. It's hard to find that feeling when you're stuck up in ego. You're stuck in the mind. You're not living in the present moment. You're not actually alive. You're not actually feeling because you're thinking all of the time. It's time to let go of the thinking, to engage with presence, accept what is, surrender to what is, and then just let what happens happen. You don't do anything. If there is an action for you to contribute in the present moment, it will flow through you naturally. It will just emerge from you. Don't fight it. Don't think about it. Don't question it. Just let it be. If it doesn't feel right, if the energy is not right for that action to take place, then it will be forced. You'll feel the effort and the struggle. You'll be forcing that action. That's not an action you need to take. That's working against the energy. Just let it flow. Flow with it. What's on top? There's that 9 Cups I just saw. Which is what we're moving towards. Realizing the stuff that we've been sitting in, that we've been calling happiness, is not really happy. We have been deriving satisfaction from superficial, artificial sources. Posting the pictures of the happy life, telling the friends about the happy life. The happy life, when lived, when inhabited, is not so happy, actually. Because it's not based on anything real. Because it's all based on control and manipulation and holding on to. And when we're holding on to, when we are obsessively polishing these cups, these trophies that hang up on the wall, and we're showing them off at every opportunity, that's clinging, that's attachment, that's resistance to change. Those cups degrade. They're not meant to be there forever. They're meant to shift. They're meant to evolve. When we don't let them evolve, we're just clinging to this idea of them, the idea of what they represented, not the actual feeling. Everything we think we want, right? We think we want because of the way that we think it will make us feel. First of all, nothing makes us feel. That's entirely our own generative power, feeling. Second of all, you don't need any of those things to feel what you want to feel. And if an experience produced an emotion within you that you enjoyed, that's all fine and well. But it's time to let that evolve. If you are clinging to that experience, then the loss of that experience, that form, feels very threatening, feels very scary. It feels like the loss of your satisfaction. That is why satisfaction should not be. It's not should, it's just it. That's why when we derive satisfaction from form, we tend to cling to it. And we throw the energy out of balance and we're never truly satisfied. That is why releasing the form is so powerful. Surrendering to the flow of what is, it helps you discover the power of your true satisfaction, that you can find and derive satisfaction from a deeper place, from the true source of it. It's not found in the form, it's found in the releasing of the form. Sure, you can enjoy satisfying conditions, but they're not the source of your satisfaction. The source of it is actually in your allowing them to come and allowing them to go, allowing the condition to be what it is. And then it doesn't matter. It does not matter what conditions are a part of your experience, even emotionally. It doesn't matter about the condition of ego and what it's saying and what emotions it's producing by those thoughts. Your acceptance of them is all that it takes. The power of your surrender is total. In your absolute vulnerability to what is, your complete openness to what is, you are invulnerable. You are unable to be shaken. Page of Wands, it's time for something new. It's time to let these cups go. They're old. Whatever they represented at one point in time is just an idea. It's gone. There is no satisfaction there. We want the real thing. We want the real deal, peace, pleasure, satisfaction. Masculine energy is still, it's in for a wake up. That's what this is about. This is the awakening of humanity, the ascension of all consciousness. That means awakening to the truth that happiness is not found in form. It's not out there. It's not in that person. It's not in that place, that thing, that job. It's not in any of that stuff. It just isn't. And the more that we seek it outside, the less satisfied we'll become. Till we finally realize it's not out there. I can't find it. It's not a thing that can be found. And we give up. And the moment we surrender the search, we accept what is, and we discover true peace, true satisfaction. It was never out there. It was always within. It was always here and now. It lies totally in our ability to deliberately, consciously accept what is and embrace it. King of Pentacles. Why is the Eight of Cups here? This is the environmental energy. This is what we're walking away from. We're walking away from stuff. We're walking away from the life that was. All the things that we thought gave us happiness. Discovering these things do not give me anything. Yeah, they don't give me anything. It's time to move away from them. Because the happiness is not in this stuff. And my clinging to it is just preventing me from realizing true satisfaction. That's Epiphany energy. Archangel Michael, Sword of Truth. It's some harsh truth that's being realized by a lot of people. I've been surrounding myself with all of this stuff that is ultimately meaningless. I placed so much faith, so much stock in the stuff, in the career, in the reputation, in the friend group, the community, in the relationship. And none of the joy is there. There is no joy in these things. Yeah, Hanged Man. New perspective. I've been regurgitating. I've been living the same life, the same experiences over and over and over. And it's not gotten me anywhere. I've just been on this hamster wheel. I've been in the same spot. It's time to get off the ride. Get off the wheel. Hamster wheel, Ferris wheel, doesn't matter. That wheel is stationary. It is fixed in position. It's not going anywhere. The way you get off the wheel is by no longer feeding it, by no longer thinking it's going to take you somewhere. If I just spin it fast enough, hard enough, I'll get somewhere. Nope, it's not going anywhere. Get off that wheel. Get off that ride. Start accepting what is in this moment. Recognize that the mind lies. It is full of shit. Truth does not live in the brain. Thinking your way through anything is a futile enterprise. You can't think your way out of anything, or into, or through, or around. You gotta let the thinking go. Thinking just keeps you out of the present. It keeps you from embracing what is, which keeps you from knowing peace and satisfaction, the true kind. It keeps you invested in the forms. It's time to leave the forms behind. Let that shit go. Let it go totally and completely. It does not matter. Literally, in every definition of that word. It is not matter. It does not matter. There is no real satisfaction found in the unreal. All of this stuff is not real. See through the illusion. There is satisfaction in seeing through the unreality of form, which helps you to let it pass, to embrace what it is. Then the energy is balancing, you're flowing with it, and you're feeling good. And you're knowing the immortality of all, as well as the oneness of all. You're aware that everything is here and now, that everything is good, it's safe, it's stable, it's secure, it's well, it's right, it's beautiful. Nothing is missing. Tell me about the strength card. The moon. Yeah, it's all coming up. And that line is coming in fast and hot and wet and sweaty. Just emerging from the depths. It's like a lion that jumped into a lake and swam across to get to you. It's overcoming fear because it's tired. It's tired. We feel like we can do this. We're tired of holding back. Yeah, it's time for action. King of Swords, King of Action. Swift, decisive action. What's on top? Six of Pentacles. The energy's coming to balance, one way or the other. That's assured. But it is masculine energy that wants to come in and give to this, because what were we talking about this whole time? Because it sees 9 cups in this. There's a little bit of short-sightedness in that. It sees an outcome as 9 cups, rather than just taking this action, following the flow of this energy, no longer holding back, accepting what is. That's where the 9 cups is found. That's where the fulfillment is found, not in the result. The result is a form. Yeah. That just reinforces everything. This is exactly what was being described with the Emperor in this position, hidden energy of the universe, that it's a little bit of a short-sighted version. Yes, the energy is coming to balance. Yes, somebody is ready to nut up and actually give to this, but it's a little bit controlling still. It's a little overly focused on the I'm gonna go get my happiness, as opposed to letting go and feeling good. Whatever happens, happens. I'm not trying to control this. I'm not forcing this. I'm just flowing. I'm going with the flow of energy and emotion. I'm letting it take me somewhere new. I'm letting it take me into the unknown. This outcome is unknown. It could go either way. I'm okay with that. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that I follow the flow of energy and let it express through me. That's where the fulfillment actually comes from. That's where the satisfaction, the peace, the joy, all of that lives. There is a lot of over focus on a specific outcome in this. Okay. But it balances one way or another. It really doesn't matter. This is beneficial for you to know and to embrace whatever happens as what happens, because then you're good. It really doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter if anybody shows up. It doesn't matter if they come correct or not. It doesn't matter if you end up together. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what happens. The world of matter no longer binds you. It's all about your acceptance of what is. You're moving with the energy, letting the flow take you, and then you feel good. You feel satisfied, you feel balanced, you feel the stability, you know the well-being of all, and every condition serves you. Tell me about the Emperor. Tell me more about this Emperor, I suppose. It is what is here, it's what we're talking about. Yeah, they see great potential. There is great potential here. And there's a lot being left behind. That's mostly what it's about. This is about teaching masculine energy not to hold on to form, not to hold on to energy. And in a large part, they hold on to energy because of the clinging to the form in its current state. A current state of emotion, a current state of physical life, the current status of job, of relationship, of reputation, not wanting any of that to change because our whole sense of self is bound up in that, is invested in that. That's been what's driving the withholding of emotional energy. We don't want this other stuff to change. We're afraid it's going to change because this comes out. It's all about letting everything change. If you speak the truth and the life falls apart, good. That's fine. Nothing went wrong. It was all meant to fall apart. If you speak the truth and the life falls apart and you don't end up in the destination you thought you were going to get to, good. That's okay. There's someplace else that you're meant to be. We're charging towards it. Yeah, it's a little bit of a rush. It's a fool's rush in kind of energy. I'm not opposed to that, but again, you have all the information here of why the rushing in is sort of happening. It's not a bad thing. Just to be aware, there's another component to it. The sweatiness, the obsessiveness, there is a very carnal aspect to this energy, is helping a lot of stuff break loose. But it's not the total lesson. It's a little bit fairyland of thinking, I sat on this for so long, but now I'm going to do it. I'm going to go claim my prize. You feel the way that feels? I'm going to go claim my prize. That's not your prize. You're not claiming anybody or anything. You don't claim victory, you have victory. You don't claim happiness, you have it. There's just, I'm hoping that I am expressing the subtle difference here of accepting what is. It's time to let go. It's time to freely express and be open to the change, open to the unknown. Universe, it's in your hands. I give it all up. I don't know what happens, but I know it's for the highest good. And I feel the satisfaction of that, the satisfaction of no longer withholding energy, but flowing with it and knowing, trusting, feeling that it all is for the best, versus I'm coming to get this and I'm gonna make it work. What's on top? Justice. Either way, it's justice. Either way, a big part of this lesson is showing us that balanced energy is what provides good feeling. It's not about an outcome. It's not about stuff. It's not about people, places, or things. It's not about situations. It's about going with the flow. It's about surrendering control. That is where the satisfaction comes from. And that is your ultimate power. You can always surrender. You can always release control. And then you can always feel good in some capacity. Doesn't matter if things are collapsing around you, if the entire physical world crumbles. Doesn't matter. You can surrender to it and know peace. And it is through the knowing of that peace that you have connection to the broader awareness, the knowledge, the true experienceable knowledge that all is as all should be, that this is not bad. That if the world crumbles, if the universe folds in on itself, it's okay. You keep going, you're still good, no harm, no foul. Nothing's really happened, nothing's really going on here. And your knowledge of that, your surrender to it, is your pathway to that peace, to that satisfaction. What's right with justice? 6 of Cups. Something from the past coming back. This is a long standing pattern. This lesson has been in the queue for a very, very long time. It's time to learn this lesson. It's time to learn you accept what comes and you accept what goes. And you accept it in whatever form that it takes. That's it. That is your power. That's the whole secret to feeling good and flowing with energy, letting everything come to you. We waited a long time. Waited a long, long time. Yeah, I don't want to keep repeating myself, but this kid's got a motive for sharing the flower. Don't have a motive. Just do it because it feels good, not because of a result that you're trying to produce. Do what feels good because it feels good. Surrender the rest. That's it. Then you're smooth sailing, free flowing with the energy. And the universe is able to take care of you, to take care of all the stuff, all the other stuff. That's it. Tell me about judgment. Whoa. Card's falling out. Okay, so that's it. Tell me about judgment. It's breaking loose. It is ripping that pentacle away. Whatever we've been clinging to. Just to reinforce this, the Knight of Pentacles fell out in reverse here. Which really, it works both ways. Whatever we've been clinging to, whatever's been stuck, is being removed. Because this Ace of Swords gets there. It gets the job done. The truth is getting through. There's no stopping that truth from getting through, which means there's no holding on to this anymore. It's just not allowed. Yeah, the Hierophant, again, keeps coming back. Keeps coming back. What else is on top? 9 of Swords. Oh, yeah, we can't sit in this anymore. 9 is the end. 10s are the dead end. But 9 is the end. This is the culmination. Being forced to face this energy, to face this suffering and go, I don't want to feel like this anymore. I gotta go. I gotta blurt it out. I gotta whatever. There is still a little bit of that expectation of it's the result of what is said that then potentially gets me out of this energy, because it's fear about the result that has been keeping us in this energy. This is what happens when we're concerned about an outcome. Yeah, oh, it would make me so happy to share this, to go towards this, to do this, whatever. But if it didn't work, I would be destroyed. I would lose everything. I would whatever. You lose nothing. You lose ego. It's the false self that's being destroyed. Let that happen. It's only ego that can be wounded and diminished. Let that happen. That's the lesson. Masculine energy, which is mind, which is ego by extension. It is this energy, and again, the way that the plan works brilliantly, it is this energy that keeps us stuck. It's this energy that finally drives us to break loose, because we can't take this anymore. And then the ultimate lesson is learned. the true lesson, which is it's not about the outcome. It was never about the outcome. It was about following the guidance, following the impulse, following the soul, flowing with the energy. The second we let go, we surrender the outcome, we surrender to what is, and we just go with it, we have the peace, we have the fulfillment. We don't need the thing. We don't need the outcome to even happen. We don't need any of that stuff. It doesn't matter. All we ever needed was to flow with our own energy. And that we have total control over. We never needed control over the outcome. We needed to release control over it. That choice is what frees us up, frees up the energy to balance, which feels good. And then we're back feeling good again. Final message from the universe. Did I just see a tower? Nope, the moon. The moon, yeah. It's very sudden. It comes out of nowhere. Literally nowhere. It's silence and then everything. Final message from the universe. What else do you want to say? Okay. Cards are getting sticky. Masculine energy is tense, it's sweaty, it's feeling like it can just go for it. It's a little short-sighted and wonky, but that's just what it is. Yeah, it's tense, it's anxious, but it needs to resolve this. It needs to make a change. One way or another, it comes in. It has some grand ideas, but let that be what it is. It wants to make this work. It does. And of course it does. That is the natural flow of energy. Masculine energy wants to balance with feminine energy. Feminine energy kind of doesn't care. Because it knows, because it has access to the deeper level of its own internal masculine. It knows that masculine energy is derived from it. It knows it doesn't actually need anything. It's self-completing. So it doesn't have quite the same drive. That's the lesson for feminine energy. To realize you don't actually need anything. You're good. You are satisfied. You figure out how to surrender to what is, balance your own energy, be open to the universe, not hold on to anything, not cling, not restrict. You're good. You don't need anything. Masculine energy needs to come to balance with this. I'm not talking about people. I'm talking about energy. This happens internally. But as it happens internally, it reflects externally. It must. That's just how it works. What's on top? Cannot get rid of this motherfucker. The Hierophant. Well, this will not be let go. This lesson is learned. And it's learned now. Not at some future time. Now. Yeah, there's no time in the energy and everybody's moving at a different pace. But the energy for this is here now and it's not going away. Everybody will get here at some point. What did I just say? Page of Pentacles. I'm not pulling this reading. I don't pull any readings. There is no me. This is just the universe talking with some fancy flashcards and whatever words come out of this mouth. This lesson gets learned. There's a deeper lesson. The lesson is let go of control of the outcome. That is key. When you're not caring about the outcome, then you don't withhold energy. You just let it flow. 10 Pentacles. Long-term change. Tremendous future potential as a result of this lesson. And again, everybody gets there, because of this. That's under the Fool here. And the Hanged Man. which is essentially, we got the Hangman and the Nine Swords, the Hanged Man and the Three of Swords. Learning that suffering is self-created. Suffering is self-created, and it is an illusion. It is created by following ego's propensity to try to control, the illusion, to exert the illusion of control. You don't have control. Control is an illusion. Trying to control circumstances, it's a bunch of bullshit. That's made up. You have no control. Whatever happens, happens. When you surrender to that, when you surrender control and you realize the power you do have is to surrender, is to give the fuck up. I mean totally. I mean completely. Not caring. When you discover how deeply you can not care, how you can just give in entirely and let everything be, everything changes, and it changes in a permanent way. You discover, you learn, you see, you feel, you know everything that happens is to your highest good. It is to your greatest benefit. And you derive tremendous satisfaction from that and from your surrender to it. I could riff on that forever. It's the same thing. It's the same energy. This is the lesson. This is the primary lesson that consciousness is trying to learn. That's it. That's the whole message. This lesson gets learned one way or another. The energy comes to balance. Just surrender. Just start surrendering right now. Flow with it. Accept what is in this moment. And you're good. You're golden. You're flowing and blowing with life instead of being dragged along. This is the message. It resonates powerfully with me. I do intend that it resonates with you, my beautiful viewer. If so, or if not, I'd love to know. Leave a comment, like, subscribe if you feel so inclined. Just let go. Just give up. There's nothing to care about. There's nothing to try for, to exert effort over. Stop caring, stop trying. All of that is mind-created illusion and delusion. And it just keeps us stuck in these cycles of creating tension, creating resistance, creating attachment, and so suffering. Let the mind talk. Let it weave its stories of pain and sorrow. Let the ego scream. That's okay. Let it tell you its whole tale of drama. You don't gotta care. You don't gotta care that ego cares. That's okay. I don't care what ego cares about. It doesn't matter. I don't care what the mind says. It doesn't matter. Let it say what it wants to say. That's just more of what is that I can embrace and surrender to and not care about, because care is control. Let go of the care, you let go of the control. Let go of control, nothing is controlling you, and you're liberated. You're free. You're flowing and blowing and totally satisfied by your own power, self-sustained, self-sovereign, and everything just happens. And it's all really good. It is all really the best. That's it. Have a beautiful, fabulous morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time it is in your space. And just know, in all ways, through every vector of time and space, you have the power to feel good. Surrender to the universe, and the universe surrenders to you. There is no separation. All is one. All is well. And I absolutely adore you. Take it easy.